Welcome back to the Piney Woods Homestead, y'all. Today we got a lot to do. It's going to get hot today too, about 82 degrees, and it's a great time to do some planting. What are we planting today?
We are planting all the tomatoes, the peppers, corn, sunflowers, cucumbers, okra.
Anything else?
Squash.
We got a full day of planting ahead of us and a beautiful day to do it. Guys, thanks for stopping in. Hit the old like for us, subscribe if you hadn't, and if you have, y'all, we appreciate it. We're going to get busy. Some of the things we're going to be using today, or one of the things, is a cedar. And this one I got last year for like $100, and it works pretty good. I'd like to have one of those nice house cedars one day. And if I save my money up, maybe I'll get me one for this fall or next spring. Lisa's got a lot of holes to dig today. She's got a lot of tomato plants and a lot of pepper plants. I told her I'm gonna hop on the tractor and do some work on it as soon as she gets started. I've spit out 3 kidney stones here in the past week. One, it was real nice, and a few small ones last night. So I'm struggling today, but she's good to go. And so she's gonna run the shovel and the post hole diggers. Know what kind of tomato is that?
These are the black cream, my favorite ones, from Crimea. They taste similar to a Cherokee Purple, but they're an heirloom and the same as Cherokee Purple, but I find that these aren't as prone to splitting and cracking, and their disease resistance is a bit better. And they're indeterminate, so they're gonna get well above this cattle panel, but it'll be better than the Florida weave.
All right, while Lisa gets to cracking on planting these tomatoes, I'm gonna go fire up the tractor, bring the tiller down here and finish my tilling. There's nothing better than the smell of diesel fuel in the morning. All right, I got everything tilled up and it looks pretty good. Lisa's down here knocking a pretty good dent into these tomatoes.
Only like 18, 20 down and about 60 more to go.
You're doing it. One thing that drives me crazy with this little cedar, push cedar that I have, is that the corn plate is designed good. It picks up the corn fine. Sometimes it'll pick up 2 kernels, and that's all right. You come back and thin it. But they're spaced a little close together, in my opinion. We have to thin way too much corn, and that's just a waste because that seed corn's expensive. So what I'm gonna do this year, and I'll try, take me some electrical tape and tape off every other spot where the seed gets picked up and see if that won't help me out a little bit. Just going to tape up where it picks the seed up. The first thing I'm going to plant down here are some Blue Lake bush beans. We like those because you don't have to string them, and they kind of grow up on the plant where you don't have to like get on your knees to pick them. We've already got some planted in the raised beds up yonder, but we're going to plant some down here too, because I'm going to tell you, if you're in a pinch, you can live off green beans, potatoes, corn, any poultry that you raise, and any pork that you raise. You can live off that. So we plant a lot of those things. It's easy to put up, canning, freezing, what have you, and they're easy to pick. Now I want these 36 inches on center, and the reason for that is I would like to be able to use my cultivator on the tractor this year to do my cultivating, because I just don't have, I ain't the same as I was this time last year, put it that way. So my little tool on the side of this cedar won't go out but about 27, 8 inches. So I just measured off 36, kind of eyeballing the rest of it, put my little guide down, works decent enough. I got 4 rows of those Blue Lake green beans, about 50 foot long each. So the 4th row might be a little thin. I was running out of seed. I got more, but we got enough up there in the beds too. Next I'm gonna plant some lima beans. We call them butter beans down here where we're from. But these have been in the freezer, I bet 10 years. We've been planting them and they keep coming up. So I'm gonna plant some more. I love them. They're just a pain in the butt to shell. Lisa and my mother are the shellers around here. It takes me about 4 times as long to shell anything as them. Kind of like cleaning the house. If you don't do a real good job, they won't make you do it. That's not true, y'all. We still got to clean a little bit. And Lisa just said, no, you're not planting those butter beans. But yeah, I'm planting them because, man, I like them. They sure are tasty.
I love them, but not the shell.
She loves them, but not the shell, and she's hollering. I don't know if y'all can hear her or not. But anyways, I'm gonna plant some butter beans. All right, that was just enough butter beans for 2 50-foot rows. And what we do, y'all, you'll see as the time progresses and we go to harvest, we won't pick those bending over. What we'll do is we'll let them get to the maturity that we want. We'll pull the plants up, throw them in the back of the gator, find a shade tree, a cold drink and pull them pods off of the plants, take them in the house or under the shade tree where it's cool, and shell them all out. Then blanch them and freeze them. I think last year we canned them. I believe we probably canned them. Save room in the freezer for all the meat we're growing around here. Next thing, we're planting some red Burgundy okra. I really like this. It stays tender even when it gets long. You know, unlike some of those okras you can plant, gets all hard and woody, ain't no good for nothing. So if you want it to stay tender, even if it gets a little bit away from you, this red Burgundy is the way to go. And it's really good. And now my favorite thing to plant, and I'm hoping it does good, is some ambrosia sweet corn. And I've actually got a mixture in here. This is something that was left over from last year. And I've got it, if you see the little teeny kernels, untreated, that's from Haas. And I'm wanting to say, this one that's kind of red, that's a treatment on there. And I can't remember if that was from Haas or something we had got somewhere else that was in the freezer, but I'll mix them together, it all plant. It's the same type of corn. And before I go crazy with it, I'm gonna see if my little taping up every other discharge on that seed plate actually works. Alright, I'm not happy with the rate of flow on that, so I'm going to back up and punt, pull some of that tape off, and just have to do some thinning. Alright y'all, that's 11 rows of sweet corn. They're about 50 feet long, about 30 to 40 feet wide, and I'm gonna give out. Living this way ain't easy, y'all, especially if you've had anything holding you back a little bit. But it's worth it. Get out here and work. It'll help you get through stuff, mentally and physically. I'm gonna get a little fertilizer put out on everything that I have just planted. Then we're gonna go help Lisa finish up these tomatoes. She's been working hard and she's maybe halfway done with them, so still got some cucumbers to plant. But let's get some fertilizer out and check on Miss Lisa. Now that last step there, walking it in, shuffling my boots as I go, just helps me cover up any seed that may not have got planted deep enough, cover up that fertilizer I just put in. You may not have to do that, but that's just what I've always done. Alright y'all, we're gonna wrap this video up right here. We've been out here busting our tails all day. We did take a break for some lunch, but Lisa's still got about a fourth of the tomatoes to go, and I'll help her with that. The corn's planted, the beans are planted, okra's planted, sunflowers are planted. Corn, did I say corn? Yeah. Everything's planted.
And the butter beans.
And the butter beans, yep. We've still got cucumbers to go and some other things, but we're going to do that tomorrow, peppers. Thanks for hanging in there with us. It's hot, we're wore out, and we got one more of these big gardens to do, but we ain't doing it for probably a week or two. That way we've got stuff coming off at different times. Guys, hit the old like for us, subscribe to the channel if you hadn't, and if you have, we appreciate you. We'll see you on the next video.